Go ahead and go to the camera. Welcome to another episode of Good Shape University Podcast. It's a special edition. As y'all know, we're coming up right now towards our mayor election right here in November down here in Albany, Georgia. And I can honestly say, like, the energy this go around is pure. It's great. I think what we're doing, what this man is doing, this young guy is doing here is great. A lot of people in our community are begging for change. Mm-hmm. We need change. I hear a lot of people. I'm active in the community. I hear a lot of people talking about no disrespect, but we got to get the elderly people about the way. Get some new energy in there, new life, just new everything. So it's an honor that I have Pastor Screen, Mr. Antonio Screen, here with us at the university. How you doing today,
man,
sir?
I'm blessed, man. I'm doing amazing.
I was doing research and trying to get real deep into it and trying to see who all was running for the mayor candidacy this year. And I knew about Bo Henry, Mr. Henry Mathis. I slid to them, and then honestly, Pastor Screen, it's like when you came out strong. I see you moving around. You're very active in the community, man, and I just want to applaud you for that.
Thank you, man.
And like I said, it just feels good right now. First question I got, man, like, what made you want to go ahead and dive into it? I know you already previously been active in the community, but what made you just say, you know what, I want to make a change. I want to run for mayor and bring something different to the city of Albany.
Man, honestly, it's crazy. Being in politics is never really something that I had ambitions about doing, so to speak. Like, I didn't grow up saying, oh, I want to be a politician. I just really have a passion about helping people, doing what I can do to bring change, in any kind of positive way.
Right.
And, a week before election, I pray every day, every morning, just how I start my day. And I was just praying, man, and I just really felt led to run for mayor.
Right.
And I was like, I was thinking in my head, honestly, it was going to be like a year from now or something. I didn't even know it was like this year. And so then I kind of pushed it out to the side. A couple of days later, it came up to me again, like, man, you ought to run for mayor. And I'm like, man, I'm doing good. I got my businesses, family. I'm good. I'm able to help people in the community. I'm fully busy all the time. Like, I'm good. So anyway, I looked into it, and like the next week was qualifying. I'm like, God of mercy, like, oh man. So it kind of put pressure on me, but I just said, why not? Right? Why not? And I jumped into this race, man, and did, and not even knowing who I was going to run, but I know this city is tired of seeing the same thing over and over again, right? And so I look at a lot of decisions that are being made on behalf of the city from elected officials, and I see how much they lack business business sound savviness, right? And I have 25 years worth of business. I know a lot of people just kind of know me as a pastoral role, but like that's 5% of my life.
I was gonna ask you, like, for the people that don't know, give us a little bit of your background as far as, you know, we also know, you know, you're a pastor, but you're also a businessman, a father.
Absolutely.
So give us a little bit of your background.
Absolutely, man. So born and raised in a little small town in Florida, you know, and they call it the swamp, you know. So we really was, you know, we started on the bottom, man, in extreme poverty, man. Everything we was eating was in our backyard. We had a garden right in our backyard, and that's what we tend to every single day, taking care of that. That's how I grew up. But you know, I saw myself wanting more than that. And I was about 14, and I asked my uncle to use his lawnmower, my grandma to use her rake, and I started doing yards in the community. That's how I really started hustling, like right then, because I wanted to have something better in life. And so I was, you know, just really grinding. By the time I did that so strong. By the time I was 18, I had 2 trucks, commercial equipment, contracts and stuff. Man, I really worked it, right? And so ever since then, I've been just going with businesses. You know, since then I've been in the automobile industry. I got a business there, still going 19 years strong now, you know.
Congrats on that.
Yeah, thanks, man. And so been here for 10 years. We do automobile stuff right up the road here at the corner of Broad and Monroe. We do body work, painting, mechanic shop. In the healthcare, real estate, like real estate now and healthcare has been like my top 2 things. But yeah, man, just really business has been what I've been doing. So, and for the last 5 years, I've been doing business consulting for major companies and corporations because I'm really, really graced to do business. Right. So I can make that work on any level. And you know,
that's what we need too.
Man.
I can need make it work. That business, that financial literacy that to help teach us, because Albany is bad.
Right. You know, it's crazy. You know, when you talk about the change here and. I was at ASU yesterday talking to a group of students in the political class. They invited me to come and speak to the students in the political class, and it was amazing. The teacher's like, man, we never seen our kids engaged like this. Like, you know, we've invited other people to come with us, but they were like all engaged, asking 100 questions. They were like, didn't want me to leave. Like, no, they lingered after the class. It was like amazing. But the teacher said something, and I know it, but I didn't connect the dot until yesterday, right? And he said this. He says Albany is 20 years behind. And when you got students that was coming in, it was freshmen that just got there this year. Yeah. And they see it. They already see it because they come from different places. Yep. And they see different cities thrive in a different way. And they come in and be like, man, this city's stuck, right? It's like behind in time. And when he said, yes, Albany is stuck 20 years back in time, it hit me. And I instantly asked the question right in front of the class because it just dawned on me, like I knew it, but it connected a different way. Why are we stuck? And then I had to think about it. The same people that's running the city, or even like if I look at the candidates that's running against me, are the same ones that was in office 20 years ago. So you got the same mindset, the same thing, the same. It ain't nothing different. Right? They can't see anything outside of that. You don't have the innovation. You don't have the creativity. You don't have a person that actually even know how to get down and really relate to the people.
Right. Especially the young people.
Right. They don't even try to reach the young people, and they just consider them like a lost cause, and it's sad. You know, because they don't vote. They don't encourage them to vote. They don't do nothing. It's just like we want the same people to vote the same way because they know they're going to keep us in office and we're going to keep the city the same way. And I think we just tired of it, man. We want something different.
Let's get into it, man. I have a few questions. You know, I know I'm the freestyler, but I feel like this is real important. And again, like my platform, we reach out to a lot of young cats. So I feel like, and outside of you, I reached out to some of the people that's running against you because I felt like we gotta bridge that gap between the elderly or the older folks and the young folks.
Right.
And you the first person that came. You understand?
Man, this got to be my 20th interview that I've heard the same thing.
Yeah. You know, so
even the class from yesterday. Yeah.
What does Albany, Georgia look and feel like to you, past, present, and future under Mayor Scream?
Man, past, present, and future. Whoa. You know, I think it is what it is as it relates to past, you know, and, you know, unfortunately, I haven't had my hand in that role to help shape what the past looked like, but it is what it is. But now I will say this, one of the things that I'm grateful for where I sit at, right, as far as my age and my experience in life, I sit in a position to really be the bridge between the old and the new. So although I'm able to reach the young, I'm still want to make sure that we understand as the new generation that there's some parts of the old we want to carry over, right? We need their wisdom. We need their perception. We need that foundation, but we need to have room to build on it. Right. We need to have room to grow on it, right? And so I've been able to reach multiple generations of people over my time. I've just have that grace to do that. But as far as future, man, I see a progressing city. I see a city that people are leaving where they are to come and move here. Yeah. You know, I see a city that people wake up every day and man, I feel good to be in Albany.
I love it.
You know, and it's like we need businesses here. We need good paying jobs here. We need to really help. You know, I hear all the time when I'm going around and campaigning and we do forums. We did like 4 forums already. And it's like, what are your plans for economic development? And I have a amazing plan for that. But what I hear nobody talking about is economic empowerment, right? We can build things in places, but we got to also build our people. Yep. You understand at the same time, because when you're dealing with a city that has the level of poverty that we have, we're on the top in the country. You get what I'm saying? Then you got to understand that transcend into mindsets.
And now the people,
right, because we can build a new building, bring that same old mindset, and it gets ran down old again because you got poverty mindsets. So how are we creating systems that's empowering us as people? Right. You understand? And that's what I want to make sure that we emphasize as well too. Yes, we can build a city, we can make things look better, progressing, bring in different things that we need here, but also let's make sure that we are empowering our people in a way that we know how to manage our money, we know how to invest, we know how to be smart on how we do business, right? Like all these different things. Like make sure that we're moving them from renting to ownership. That's a big thing on my agenda as well too. Once you get that first piece of real estate, you already one leg out of poverty. You understand? People don't teach you that. They just teach you like money. No, it's a whole nother level of wealth and value out here that's outside of green, right? You understand? You got to understand that. So there's things you can have asset in that allow you to start moving out of poverty and helping your kids get out of poverty. Your kids. That's what I want to do. If we can really do that with our generation, man, by the time our sons and daughters become grown and we get grandkids, they'll already be way ahead. Right. You know, so that's what I want to do.
Now, I understand education isn't a mayoral matter, so to speak, but what's your observation on our school system here in Albany? Just want to hear your perspective as a parent, taxpayer, and then future mayor. Noted 80% graduation rate, 40 to 50% of those are classified as honor students, the new promotion scale, etc. Like, what is your take on that?
Yeah, so it's no secret that our school system is in trouble, right? Everybody talks about it. I don't have to state the obvious, but what I do plan to do, and I'm glad you're educated enough to understand that's not my direct role, right? And I'll be clear about that to people. I don't sell them no dreams like, oh, I'm going to change this, I'm going to do that, when I know that is school board. You understand? But however, I plan to leverage my influence, right? To have constant conversation with the superintendents, the school board workers, but I want to just not talk to them. My plan is to bring teachers into that conversation. In addition to that, bring the parents of the students into that conversation. And now we have a collective effort on how we're going to really approach the change that our school system needs.
Like I say, it takes a village.
Right. Like we need all those 3 components. We need a school board apart, but we need the teachers. We need to hear what the teachers are saying going on in these classrooms, right? Because a lot of times the school board officials don't know what's really going on in the room. They just kind of oversee the system, right? But you need to get in it to really understand what's happening in the system, right? And then in addition to that, we need the buy-in to whatever that plan is and the perspective of the parents. Right. What are they seeing that their kids are coming home?
The results.
Right. Yeah. One of the things that I was disturbed by, my son was here last year and was going to school here, and it was like every day he came home, he's like, I have no homework. I'm like, this is unheard of. When I was going to school, you came home with homework every day.
Every day.
Like even on weekends, you got homework. Like that was, I almost didn't believe him. I'm like, you got to be lying, you know, because kids today, they be real manipulative. They'll find a way to lie to you.
They'll find a way to get
so I'm thinking like, you lying. Like, I'm like going in on him, and he's like, no, like, I promise you can call my teacher, Dad, I don't have no homework at all. Never. And I'm like, okay. So, but anyway, we need to hear what's going on from the parents' perspective as well, to put all of those people into the room and have conversations with them consistently till we begin to shape and redevelop what our school system need to be.
That's big. I love that. Speak on your approach in rebuilding trust between the stewards of the city, leaders, commissioners, both city and county, and the people of Albany.
Well, that is my number one agenda.
Right.
I've made that very clear to everybody. Look, everybody go around with the promises that they can't keep. If it's one that I'm going to keep, and that is to restore the trust between the people and the politicians, right? It just has to be done. How am I going to do that? Number one, through transparency. Right? You got to be transparent with people, right? It's just like how we move in any other setting. It don't matter if you're in business. It don't matter if we're on the street. It don't matter how you operate. When a person is hiding something, it means you got something to hide. You get what I'm saying? It means like, why are you not telling me, right? Even if it's in a relationship, you find out something that your partner did and you like, yo, why you didn't tell me? Well, I ain't thinking of that.
That killed the trust.
Right. I'm like, you're moving a little different. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm like, let me watch you, or let me back up a little bit, or let me not put all my, trust into this, or my investment in this. We gotta have transparency forever in this city. We have politicians that make decisions on our behalf, and we find out after the fact. Right? I'm saying that what I want to establish here is you have the opportunity to know what's going on while it's going on. Right? Have that buy-in, have that opinion, right? Because at the end of the day, I think we got to also put in perspective that every dime that's been spent is our money.
It's our money.
Right? It's not their money. It's in my position in that office. It won't be my money to decide. It's everybody in this city that you go and buy something, I got property, whatever, you paying taxes. It's our money. Right? So at the end of the day, we need transparency. Hey, y'all, this is what's going on. This is what's available. This is what we're considering. This is what our budget is. What do y'all feel we should do with this? Right? So we got decisions like we, got into a thing at the debate, and I just called it out the way I felt like it. I'm very straight shooter on everything. They'll tell you like, I've been watching. Bro, I'm not finna cut. I'm not. Just it is what it is. What you see is what you're gonna get. You ain't gotta never wonder about like, if I'm for you, I'm for you. And if I'm not, I'm gonna tell you like, I don't deal with you like that. And that's just it. You can like it, leave it, but you're gonna have to respect it, right? And when you make decisions like, hey, we're gonna put $9 million in this one park, you understand? Like, it may have been a good idea to you, but at what point you ask the citizens here what y'all think is best to do with this $9 million? And I'm sure they would have told you it's probably better for us to spread it out into different things in recreation so we can get more accomplished here than just you doing that one thing. But you don't ask. You don't really intentionally be trying to engage with the people in this community. So you do that through integrity. Second part is collectiveness. You got to have collaboration. All right? I want collaboration. I want to make sure that everybody in this city feels a part of this city, right? I want to reach out, and our business owners, right? People that have organizations here that's helping like little pockets of groups here and there. We got so many nonprofit organizations here where people just over here doing their own little thing. Like, bring them all together, right?
And we got to come involved. It also goes back to what you said. It helps change the mindset. So now if you're a part of it, you're going to put forth more effort to see it grow.
Right. And you're going to feel more responsible to make sure that it succeeds. Right. And then what it also does too is it says from a leadership standpoint, number one, let me tell y'all the truth. I'm smart, but I don't know everything. Right. I don't care how smart I am. If I sit here and start having conversation with just the 4 people in this room, I'm going to learn something.
Always.
Right. Don't look at me like, oh, I'm an American candidate, so I got to be the smartest one in the room. That ain't the case. I got something I can give you, but I'm always in a posture of what can I receive too? What can I learn? But I can't do that if I'm not open enough to at least have conversations with people, bringing them into the conversation like, hey, this is my idea. What y'all think? And then you're going to be like, oh, bro, I see it like this. Oh, man, I see it like this. And what about, oh, man, shoot, now I got a better plan.
You got a better plan.
Because I see it all like different. Right. Yeah. And it's not a tunnel view of like just how I see it. Right. So we got to do that. We got to be integral, transparency, and we got to be make sure that we collaborating. Right. And then, like I said, we got to walk in integrity, man. I think for the longest, we just got people in office that they just ain't right. Let's just call it what it is, bro. Like,
they ain't right.
They ain't right. Like, we talk about it in private conversations, but like, let's just acknowledge the fact they ain't right. They're crooks, they're scammers, they're schemers, they're liars, they're deceitful. Like, they deceitful, they ain't right. Right, it's all about them and what they can gain, and they don't care nothing about the people.
I know one of a big issue that people bring up, the crime here in Albany, Georgia. How can we bring that? It sometimes get better, and then it explodes, and then it kind of gets back better. How can we get a grip on the crime rate here in Albany, Georgia?
Good stuff, man. Listen, and again, if you listen to my answers, they're gonna probably be way far left compared to what you hear from everybody else. But this is my lens. This is how I see it, right? Everybody else is like, we need more police officers. We need more police officers. We need more police officers. And I'm like, that ain't it. You get what I'm saying? Now, let me be very clear. I understand that our police staff is short right now, right? So we need to bring us up to the level we need to be in. But what I'm not for is over policing our streets. Because if you really study and research statistically, when you over police a city of this size, you got a lot of people going to jail for petty crime.
Yep.
You understand? So we don't need to over police our streets, right? Bring us to what we need to be at, the level we on. I'm good with that. But I don't think we need to increase it no more than that, right? Because then you got a whole bunch of people just going to jail for any little thing. Oh, you look suspicious. Let me lock you up. What? Like, man, y'all ain't got nothing better to do with your time, right? So my proposal has been this. Number one, we got to understand, look at the trend on the crime that's happening. The age group is getting younger and younger and younger and younger, right? It's kids now that's doing the crime, right? Why? Okay, you go through this community. I do it every single day, and there's not a day I walk out of my house that I don't hear not a young person say, we don't have nothing to do. You understand? Not nobody. I was just at ASU yesterday. The whole room complaining about that. The whole entire room complaining about that. They don't have nowhere to go, nothing to do. We had one bowling alley. They tore that down. Why they tore that down? They asking me why they tore that down. I say, listen, all I can tell you, they tore it down because they wanted to put a car wash there. That's what they did. I don't got no other answers for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with it, but that's what they did, right? So, but we gotta create a space for our young people, right? Now, when I say that, let me be even more clearer, right? We gotta also accept the fact that young people today is different from young people 30 years ago. Right? When I was growing up, and I'll tell it like this, the facts. You give me some marbles and my homeboy some marbles, we found a little dirt and we good. Like out shoot marbles for hours, we good. You know, let us outside, we good. Now kids their brain process way too fast for that. You understand? At 3 years old, you give a 3-year-old iPad and they'll outbeat you using it. Yeah. They'll know how to do more stuff on the iPad than you. You be like, what? You 3? What you doing? Their brain is taking over. It is, man. And so you got to have something that's stimulating their mind, something that's keeping them actively engaged enough that it actually is an interest to them. Right? So just opening up a playground or investing $1 million in playgrounds here ain't the all solution. Okay, I'm for it to a certain extent.
And I'm with that. Like,
but we got to do something different.
One thing that killed me, and I'm with it, recreation, gyms, and stuff like that. But everybody don't play sports. All the kids don't play sports. What about like a lot of folks is in multimedia,
right?
Music, podcast, film, and stuff like that.
You got the arts.
Incorporate that.
You got the arts that nobody ain't touching on.
Sports.
You got fashion that nobody ain't touching on. You got so many different things that people are more interested in than just that. Yeah. And it's almost like it's a kind of like, to me, and I don't want to make it too deep, but it's almost like your perception of us in a sense is like that's all we good for. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like if that's all you willing to invest millions and millions of dollars in and you don't see anything outside of that we're able to do, capable of doing, may even be interested in doing, that says a lot. You understand? So that's one thing, man. We got to give them something to do. Now the other part is I want us to, as a city, partner with local people, like people that have, again, like I said earlier, little groups of people. We got people that's got maybe mentoring 5 men over here or 20 girls over here that's doing stuff with the youth. Even if it's a place like this, like y'all giving a space for young people to come in and do different things, record and stuff in the music. We need to partner with that, and let's spend some funds in supporting you all to be able to do more for the young people.
Even like I seen you at Brandon Billings' shop. Like he can teach other kids, like he's a young African American male with his own clothing store. Right. We can have more of that.
Right. And we need more of that. Right. So why can't we take a portion of these lump sums of money we dumping on a park, right? To spread it out and let's start doing it to the people that can have an impact on these little pockets, and these little pockets become bigger, and now we're affecting the whole community. Right. So that's my thing. We need, and so what we don't understand too with a community like this, and especially our culture, we use people like that as mentors. Right. When I'm out here on the streets, and I ain't talking about just for no campaign. I've been doing this for 10 years, man. I'm all up through these streets, just checking on people, see how they doing. I don't got to know you. I'm just making sure you good. And a lot of these young people be like, man, I go to the game because I ain't got no family. The game is my family. You understand? So they go to these things because that's their family. Okay, I understand that. I respect that, right? But now if you got people that are positive role models that's like trying to be a part, trying to be that family. Right, trying to be that family to you, why we can't support them? because that's what's going to keep them from doing something crazy, right? It's enough of that going on right here in the community, like in little small pockets, but most of these people doing it out of their pocket. It's the little bit of money they get extra to be able to take these kids to do this, or start a little team, or do a little this, or, you know what I'm saying? And then it's only so much you can do.
It's only so much.
Right? But if the city get behind you, right, and start giving some of that funds to support these things, then now we can see like, oh man, we can see how we can really impact these young men, man, and start redirecting them like, hey man, that's a better way. You know, so instead of me teaching you that, you know, and again, and a lot of times it's the ability to be able to show them like, I already know that road, but now let me put you on something else of what we got going on here. You look like you can spit some bars. Get up in here, man. Let me show you. Let me show you what to do. I got you. Well, I got to pay for time. That's covered.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying? That's what we need, man.
Now they gonna come back. So now you giving them something to do versus just sitting around here, doing a bunch of nothing.
They running here every day after school, like trying to lay down tracks and do bars and stuff, and they got to worry about somebody got to pay for it. So I ain't expecting for everybody to be able to do it for free. But again, that's what we ought to have funds available to be like, look, this is enough for y'all to be able to, you know, sponsor at least 20 young men to come in here after school. Y'all do set up a system where they register whatever who sign up, but this is where they come to because you see some music ability in them, and let's support that, man. That's gonna keep them from out the street doing crazy stuff.
Keep them out the streets. In your opinion, where does the base of the issues, problems, and concerns for Albany lay?
Say that again.
In your opinion, where does the base of issues, problems, and concerns for Albany lay?
What is the base of the issues in the city?
Like what issues, our major issues. What are our major issues or problems that you?
Man, so across the board, again, we already touched on the crime. Across the board is the economic system here, economy. We need a boost in our economy. You know, one of the reasons we are such deep into poverty here, and our poverty rate is because people are not making enough money. Right? So we got to do two things is what I propose for that. One, we got to stop blocking these industries that keep trying to come here. We got to stop blocking them from coming. Right? You got industries that come to the city. Hey, we want to come to Albany. We want to start jobs off at $18, $19 an hour. Just general labor jobs. Right? Why y'all keep saying no? People don't even be knowing about these conversations that's going on. Right? Why y'all say no? You want to hire 600 people? We need to figure out what you need to get here. You understand? Because we need that. We need that. That's going to help people in this community to start getting ahead, getting better, right? Financially. And in addition to that, we need to make sure we have systems in place to support our current local businesses, right? In a more effective way. We got so many business ordinances that work against our businesses. It's pathetic. It's crazy. It's pathetic. That make it hard. It's not a business friendly city. It's not, right? So I want to change all of that so we can make sure that we growing. People will be happy to come here and start a business. We make it easy for them. We support them. We support those that are already here so they can be able to have the ability to grow and scale and make more money. So now they can pay more money to their employees. We need to boost the economy up here, man. We got to.
We a post city.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, with all the issues that I'm hearing, here's the reality. And I go through and I'm hearing all the issues. And man, I get overwhelmed with it every day. But what it all boils down to is Albany lacks great leadership. Right? Where there is no vision, the people perish. Period. If you got a leader that don't have vision, that don't see greater, and know how to execute that greater, like very strategically, because some of them just be like selling you an idea that you already know, like, man, you know that's some BS. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all, we may be poor, but we ain't stupid. Like, don't talk to us like we just a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people may not say nothing. You know, I will, but they may not say nothing. But at the end of the day, you know when that ain't, you just trying to bait me. But at the end of the day, we need somebody that got vision, somebody that can see it, and then have a strategy that's really practical, like executable. Like we can really pull off the things that I plan to do. We can really do that. That's obtainable. And that's what I want. I want to do it in a way that's obtainable. But all of our issues are surrounding the fact we lack great leadership.
And again, I love the energy that you bring. I think you'll make a great man. In my personal opinion, I can't speak for the rest of the city, but since I've been following you and I caught on hearing you speak, just seeing how you move, even if outside of running for mayor, you just an all around good guy, and I see that passion that you have for the city and helping it grow and be a better city.
Yes.
Again, I support you. I appreciate you. I don't want to take too much time out your day.
Good, man.
Make sure y'all get out and vote. That's the number one thing. We got to get out and vote. All my young people, get out and vote. Your voice matters, especially in our city. It starts with us, and like you said, we're the generation. We're the new voice that's coming up right now. So if we want to change, we got to put forth effort to help see a change. Make sure y'all support Mr. Anthony Screen. Again, I appreciate you for coming.
Appreciate
Any
you,
last words you want to give us before we get out of here?
Man, listen, on that voting note, listen, let me be very, very clear to everybody that's watching right now, okay? They are depending on us not to vote, okay? I've seen the stats. I've seen it over the last few years of elections. The younger generation do not vote here.
At all.
They're depending on us not to vote. It is my desire that we send a message loud and clear from this city this year. And that message is we got a voice, and we're going to be heard. We're going to turn our voice into a vote. All right? Get out and vote. I know you may not be engaged for and all of this, but listen, this ain't the year to do that, right? You've been wanting change, and finally you got a candidate that you can look at and be like, I see a possibility of change there, right? So there's no excuse now. Get out and vote. Bring your family, your friends, your cousins, your in-laws, bring your enemies. I don't care because we all got to live in the same city together. So that's the least we can do, right? So bring them. Tell them, get out and vote. Early voting ends this Friday, okay? Right at the Cannon Room. Go there. It's a 2-minute process. It ain't even no excuse. Slide in there. You can leave your car running. Slide in there and just vote. Make sure you vote for change, all right? And I hear this. I've been hearing this for a while, and I say this, and I'm done. You know, it'd be like, you know, some people are like, well, I know these other people. They've been here all their life. They've been born and raised here, right? And then I asked the question like, but I don't know him. So, did you know Obama? Did you know Biden? Did you know Clinton? You don't know, and you really don't know them. Ain't never shook their hands. Ain't never seen them. I'm here, right? So we got to get out of that mindset of, oh, it got to be somebody born and raised here. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? We got to get out of that mindset because those are the ones that can't see past here.
You mentioned something. I was watching the interview with you on. You said if they was here 20 years ago or in office doing something 20 years ago and we ain't seen change, what you going to expect them to do?
What you going to expect them to do now? Really?
And then I said, you know what?
Really?
He's right. You're right. You got a point.
It is what it is, man. Like, that's the bottom line. Like, we keep staying stuck because we keep letting people lead us that's still there, right? We just bring it. Listen, you can talk about you got a bright future or we're going to move in the future all you want to, but as long as your past is still in your present, your future going to look like your past.
Like your past. I love that.
That's it. So we gotta really do something different, man. I want us to send a message this year. I want this city to know y'all ain't gonna overlook us no more.
Right.
Y'all ain't gonna overlook our voices no more.
This Friday.
Yep.
Get out and vote, man.
Last day to vote is Tuesday. So if y'all miss it this week, I hope you can get into this week because I don't want you to look at the lines and be like, I ain't finna wait because some of y'all impatient. But just in case, Tuesday is the last day to vote.
Again, we appreciate you for coming, man. Y'all get out and get active. My name is Player the Mayor. We got Mr. Anthony Screen running for mayor right here, man. Next time, we out of here.
Thanks for the love, man.
No problem, brother.